gives them a Alright, let's go ahead and get started. If you're watching on the VOD, welcome to my stream. I'm Jordan, your penguin friend. And tonight I'm going to be playing a small solo journaling RPG called Chill Out. It's by Michael Klamerus. And it can be purchased on itch.io. It's a solo tabletop role-playing game about a calm mythical drive through the United States during a summer night. So, I think we're just gonna have a fun chill time tonight. Nothing too stressful, I hope. Alright, I'll go ahead and switch over to the game screen that I've got set up. So, to get started, since there's not a whole lot to read with this game, I'll just go ahead and read the introduction and the how to play. And this is my first time playing this. But it looks like it's gonna set us up for having a fun time. Let's see. I need to turn my audio down. Okay, I hope the music is a little, or not too much different for you, but it's a little better for me now. Okay, so how to play. Your drive starts at 7 p.m. At the beginning of each hour, draw a card. Each card represents something you have come across during your drive. Use the Discoveries page in this book as a prompt to help describe what you have found. Each time you draw a card, add up the total for the hour. Continue drawing cards until your total reaches 21 or higher. Once it reaches 21, set your clock to the next hour and read the instructions for the journal prompt if one exists for this time. If you run out of cards, shuffle the discard pile and continue playing with your new deck. The game continues until you reach your destination at 7 a.m. So you can see I've got my journal set up here in black. So the first thing we'll label is 7 p.m. And I hope you'll stick with me through this. I'm still trying to calm down some of my verbal tics to hopefully make listening to me a little less stress-inducing. I know I get stressed out when I listen to my own voice, so I hope you don't. And we'll have some setup questions that we have before 7 p.m. starts. So all that we really need for this game is paper and pencils and pens and a deck of playing cards with the jokers removed. I have playing cards here that I'll hold up and let you see what I drew. Hopefully they're not too shiny. So for setup, before going on your road trip, answer the following questions. Where are you leaving from? Where are you going? What are you driving? Are you bringing anything with you on your trip? So I had a few ideas of where I'm leaving from. Where am I leaving from? So I thought that I had a couple of ideas. I could either start where I am now, which is southeastern Michigan here, or maybe I could start from where I'm originally from, which is central Indiana here. Since those are the places I know best, it might be easiest to start out from there. Although the person who's making this trip, it's not me, I don't think, but I also don't want to define this person too much except through their interactions with whatever they run into on this trip. So let's say central Indiana. I'm going to pick a town that is not my hometown for privacy's sake, but is not too terribly far away. So I'm going to say that we're starting this game in Fairmount, Indiana. If you don't know, and there's no reason that you would, Fairmount is the birthplace of both James Dean and Garfield, so that's fun. So leaving from Fairmount, Indiana, and just so that I can get the directions for this trip, the game suggests that I here in a few steps that I get a map from Google Maps with a list of directions. So where am I going? I would kill to go just about anywhere right now, but hopefully that's coming soon. So I was looking earlier to kind of figure out what is about 8 hours from central Indiana. So Asheville, North Carolina is about 8 hours. Memphis, Tennessee is about 8 hours. I believe Atlanta is about 8 hours. Let's just start looking at directions. Starting in Fairmount, going to... let's see how far away Atlanta is. Atlanta's about 9 hours. Just because it has so much pull in, especially the mid-20th century imagination, let's see Memphis, Tennessee. I think that's a good... So Memphis, Tennessee is 8 hours away. We'll be on the interstate the whole way. But I don't... It would be really hard to find a place that's 8 hours away taking surface roads. I wouldn't even know how to begin searching for that. But I'm sure that we'll be pulling off into the farmlands and stuff while we drive. So we're going to Memphis, Tennessee. What are you driving? I think this is the question I put the most thought into and have come up with the least results for. I want to drive something that to me seems like classic American road trip car. But for me though, that is like a Dodge Caravan or some sort of van, because that's what my family took all of our trips in. And this trip is alone. Okay, I've got an idea. Let's say that we're driving a Dodge Dynasty? That seems like... I know that's a family car that my family had. My thoughts for this trip are that, or for this game, is that we're maybe somewhere in the late 90s, early 2000s. Sorry, I'm just Googling real quick. Yeah, I want to say that this is happening in the early 2000s, so my use of Google Maps is completely anachronistic, and the directions will certainly have changed between now and then, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being anachronistic. So this is Dodge Dynasty. It only... it's an automatic. It only has a tape deck, but well, so that's all with the car. The next question is, are you bringing anything with you on your trip? So since it's the early 2000s, I'm bringing my Discman and a binder full of CDs, binder full of my favorite CDs. A small tape collection. And I think these existed in the early 2000s. The tape to auxiliary adapters, where you put a little tape cartridge into the cassette player and it plugs into your Discman, or later your MP3 player. Tape to aux adapter. Cool. So the next question is, why are you making this drive? To see someone, moving somewhere new, or making a delivery? I want to say that I'm making a delivery because that gives me an opportunity to have a MacGuffin, which, who can resist having a MacGuffin? I love it. I don't want to know what's inside the package. I'm sure the character probably knows, but I think for my purposes it's not really important that we know what they're delivering or who they're delivering it to. Just that we need to make this trip. I'm going to say that it's in a drab canvas duffel bag. And it's filled to bursting. Okay, so before you leave, print off a map from Google Maps or elsewhere with a list of directions that you need to take to get to your destination. Your drive should take about 8 hours. So, what I'm actually going to do is, real quick, I'm going to take a snip of the map, because from reading ahead I know that I need to be able to draw on the map, so I'm going to be able to do that. So hold with me real quick while I make a snip of this and put it in a drawing tool. I hope that your night is going well. Mine is. I'm just a little busy this week. But the weather's getting nicer. Spring is finally here. It's actually been pretty warm here the last couple days. And I am ready for it. I'm ready to have the time to take some nice walks outside, hear the birds. I'm ready. This is a lot of stuff to do on stream. That's as soon as this photo editor opens up, and sections. Oh boy, this is going to be pretty small, but I hope it should be, well, I have no idea how visible it is on the screen, so, oh gosh, I just realized that I hadn't transitioned over to the screen. That's, that's a big mistake. Okay, so I'll just set up a new source here. New window capture. Call it draw map. To clip it and be rather small, but I'll enlarge it as best I can. I'll enlarge it and make it blocky, probably. Okay, there we go. Then just... Good. Okay. So I think we're ready to go. And yeah, I'm going to take the fast route I-70 by I-70 and I-57. Oh wow, these are very short directions. Well, they'll get a little more complicated as we have to make detours. Okay. So every hour we're going to be making discoveries until the cards we draw total up to 21. I'm going to count Jack, Queen, King as 11, 12, 13. Just to make it a little bit faster on me. I don't want to be... I do have to go to bed at some point. So let's start at 7 p.m. We're starting down from Fairmount, Indiana to... So our first step is going to be getting on to I-69, which is just a couple miles east of Fairmount. And between 7 and 8, and around 8 o'clock, we would probably get to Indianapolis. Okay, so our first card is the 9 of Diamonds. I'll try to hold these so my light doesn't reflect off of them. So the 9 of Diamonds. Diamonds represent oddities and unexplainable mysteries. And 9s indicate that they should be encouraging. Let's just say 9D. We're not gonna D, H, S, and C. Okay, yeah, diamonds, hearts, spades, and clubs. So I'll just use D, H, S, and C to abbreviate them. And then I'll also type out what the key says. Okay, so it's good that we're starting out our journey with an encouraging oddity. Okay, no, it's hard for me to think of anything odd in central Indiana, but no, let's say that on our way out of town we run into a parade. It's not a holiday, so it's weird that we would run into a parade, and there's no festival. Maybe it's just people practicing for a parade, but there are a lot of encouraging banners, say like "Good luck" and "You can do it." An unexpected parade, people carrying encouraging signs. Okay, next up is the 6 of diamonds. So that's going to be frustrating oddities or unexplainable mysteries. So around this hour we get to Indianapolis, and if you don't know, Indianapolis is surrounded by it's like circled by an interstate, 465. So I'm going to say that we get stuck somehow circling on 465 a couple of times, and it's a long loop. It's actually longer than would be possible within the confines of an hour, but I noticed that I just keep passing the same exits, and it's never the right exit. And really, we didn't even need to get on 465. That's the worst part of it, but I thought I could avoid downtown traffic. Stuck on 465. How do I keep passing the same exits? So next we're up to 15, and this is the Jack of Clubs. Perfect. And this is going to put us over 21, so this will be the end of the hour. Jack of Clubs. Jacks are ominous. Clubs are nature, parks, animals, plants, fields, farms. Okay. I have a pretty decent idea for this one. So we were finally able to get through Indianapolis. We were able to So in order to get through Indianapolis, we finally just got off on an exit, and this shouldn't have been a hard exit to miss. It is literally just the continuation of an interstate. So it's just can't believe that we kept missing it. So we get off, and we quickly get out of the city on surface roads, and so I know that the interstate that I need to get on is south of here. So I get out of the city, I start heading south, and I get lost on some back roads trying to connect myself to the roads that I need to be on. There are a lot of twisty, windy roads, and this is just a little bit off of my beaten path. So I just a little flustered, and I trying to get out. And so I get onto some rural roads, and this is kind of well past where everything is, and I drive past a field, and I don't know how it is elsewhere, but a lot of times in Indiana, like in the fields in Indiana, you'll have like a big field, and then you'll have just like a small stand of trees that's like the woods for the farmer. So I drive past a field, and there's a stand of trees, maybe a quarter mile back off the road, and there's a little path that goes back there. That's like where the farm equipment moves on, and I can see back in this woodsy area that there are people who all seem to be dressed in let's say like they all seem to be dressed in some sort of uniform, and they're gathering. It looks like they're starting to light a bonfire, and I can tell you, being from rural Indiana, that if you see people gathering and building a bonfire, all wearing the same sort of clothing, you do not want to be around when they start doing their thing. You don't want them to see you, so I hurry on past there, and I get a few dirty looks from the guys in their trucks who are sitting at the end of this drive. So I'm going to say people dressed the same building a bonfire. I don't want to know anything else about them. Okay, so we're on to 8 p.m. And our first journal, our first prompt for things is 9 o'clock. So we'll do another round of these discoveries. Okay, so the 7 of clubs. Confusing nature, parks, animals, fields, farms. confusing nature, etc. Well, I don't think there would be anything more confusing in central Indiana than seeing some sort of geography. It is so flat there. What's a good geographical feature that let's see. I'm going to say that there is a large hill that rises above, like, several hundred feet above the ground. It's all alone. It's really what's the word I'm looking for? It looks really intimidating. Bigger than any hill that I've ever seen in central Indiana. Even in southern Indiana, it's mostly like the geography is mostly like cut away, and there are hills, but at least what I'm used to seeing down there is cuts into the hills to make roadways. But this is one single large hill, seemingly undisturbed. Maybe there's a building at the top. Some sort of there's an observatory at the top. Let's say a radio observatory. I know there wouldn't be a radio observatory that close to a large place, but I just think radio observatories look really cool, and if I saw one that close to home, I would be pretty confused. So that's 7. Then we get the 8 of Hearts. And hearts represent buildings like gas stations, diners, and tourist traps. 8 represents sad. That is easy enough. There's a diner that has I'll just say it has an Eat at Joe's sign. That seems like pretty mythic Americana. Eat at Joe's. But it's abandoned. All the lights are out. Oh, actually, okay, this is even better. So it's the lights are out. There's nobody there, and the owner is putting a chain with a padlock over the door. This was the last day that this restaurant was open. Last day Joe's was open. No one's eating here anymore. So I discovered in my last video that the VOD didn't take any of my desktop sounds. So if you're not hearing the music playing right now, I do apologize for that. That's something that I have to figure out. But hopefully I did figure it out and it's working. But I won't know until I watch the VOD. So we are at 15 currently, and this is the King of Diamonds. Diamonds, again, are oddities and unexplainable mysteries. Ooh, the king is exciting. Okay, there's a huge fireball that streaks over in the sky, and like overhead in the sky, and it's not just like a shooting star or something. This looks like some sort of it has the shape of a space, maybe not like the space shuttle, but maybe it looks like a flying wing or something, like a flying V shape, and it maybe it's not odd enough if I decide what it is, but this big fireball shoots by overhead. I'm glad I didn't get fried. Oh, hey Harrison. Oh, strawberries. Yum. Oh, well, welcome. You're the only one here, but having a lot of fun with this game. So, I'm playing a game called Chill Out. You probably saw from my tweet. Okay. Yeah. He yeah, so I'm on a little journey right now. I started out in Fairmount, Indiana. And I'm headed down to Memphis, Tennessee. I'm making some sort of delivery. I don't know what I'm delivering. I think the character probably knows what I'm delivering. Oh, good. Thank you. Your boyfriend sent me a message on Discord today, and it looked like you guys were having a very relaxing day. Yeah. Well, he was trying to make fun of you for not being able to sit right, but yeah, that's what I told him, like, that's just gay culture. Not being able to sit right is just gay culture. Yeah, the only reason I'm sitting correctly in this chair is because it would be extremely uncomfortable to sit not right in this gamer chair. So what I was just describing was an exciting oddity, and what I thought of was that a big like fireball shot overhead, maybe like going, you know, it's probably a few hundred feet above the road, but it would almost, in my mind, it would almost be like a big like a big meteorite crashing, or maybe it's some sort of like mysterious military looking aircraft. I can't tell, but it's very exciting to watch. I mean, it's scary too, seeing it fly overhead. Yeah, so I need to, as something that I realized that I need to do is stop using people's actual names on the stream if I'm going to be saving them as VODs and putting them on YouTube, but hopefully it won't be an actual problem, but I just need to stop using people's names and use their screen names. Yeah. Yeah, and since I'm so new at this, I just don't know what the best practices are. So I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff that I have to figure out. Okay, so we're moving on to 9 o'clock. It's kind of surprising that nobody uses Harrison, because I don't know, plenty of people use actual names for their characters. Not everybody uses super unique names. And Harrison's a good name. A lion named Harrison would be nice. Oh crap. I just realized that... Sorry, I just noticed that one of my sources just disappeared here. That's no good. It's no good. Making edits live is not super fun thing, but no, window capture. Window capture. I want something like an animal, but in a different language. But then it's just called eagle in another language. The eagle, or eagle, the eagle, or lion, the lion. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I like using human names because I like human names. I like my name. That's why I don't go by Alistair. I think I'm very clearly just Jordan. So. adjust this? 'Cause... Okay. If this disappears again, then you can just eat me. Okay, so 9 p.m. So we have a prompt for 9 p.m. Dusk is falling fast. While on your drive, you hear on the radio that the road has been blocked off up ahead by an accident. You stop at a gas station to refuel and ask the gas station attendant for directions. Baked Alaskan penguin. I don't think I've ever had baked Alaska. I would definitely try it. Okay, so we're stopping to ask for directions. So draw a card. What's unusual about the directions you receive? This is a club, so that means that they don't seem physically possible. That is awesome. Dusk is falling. Club. They don't seem physically possible. Did I put in the Discord the did I put in the Discord the picture that someone made of how Jerry's apartment in Seinfeld couldn't possibly exist? Like the hallway outside would run into his kitchen. I just got that, or I just saw that the other day, and it infuriated me. And also, I love that Jerry lives in some sort of weird place out of space, because we know that it's a straight hallway because it's seen in the show several times. Yeah, it's just how the set's constructed. But there is so the door is like at an angle to the kitchen, so it would run into it. But even if it was set like on the same plane that the kitchen is, like, it still wouldn't make any sense because the kitchen recedes back past the door. So it's obviously just a sitcom convenience, but it is very funny to me that it's just not possible. So these directions don't seem physically possible, and I need to mark that on my map and printed directions. So let's see if I can resize this at all. Actually, I don't think I can, but no. Okay, well, no, I'll have to figure out how to do a map at some other point. Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that video in VR chat. Wasn't that a Cooper Tom thing? Okay, so we're still, I think, in Indiana, and this isn't going to make any sense. So I think the way that the directions The directions actually just bring us back in a circle. Um, like the attendant at the gas station says, well, what you do is you go down 5 miles to County Road, 500 east. Then you head down to Division Road. Then you just keep heading east for a few miles. Then you head back north until you hit 350 north. Then you'll head back west, and you'll think that you're back where you started from, but you'll actually be about 20 miles away. It's hard for me to describe how impossible this seems, but like the way he describes making a loop, but by making it this loop, he says that you'll be about 20 miles south down by the highway, a few exits from here. Okay, so they don't seem, change that, these directions don't seem physically possible. I made a loop, but somehow I'm nowhere near where I started from. But I'm back on track. Well, I guess that will also count towards total of the hour, so there aren't directions about that, or it's not specifically spelled out, but that makes sense to me that the number is always counting towards the hour total. So that's 5 for this hour. Next we have 4 of diamonds. We're gonna burn through all the diamonds before we get out of Indiana. So 4 of diamonds is an amusing oddity. Or unexplained event. Or unexplained mystery. Ooh, I think this is... I drive past a mystery spot. I don't have time to stop, and it's closed for the evening. But, there are a lot of like, oh, watch the water flow uphill. The house where gravity doesn't make sense. A real wormhole to another dimension. If this mystery spot were open, I'd go in just to debunk everything. Rubes. So that's 9 for this hour. Up next is the Four of Hearts. So... Four of Hearts is an amusing roadside building. I'm going to say that it's a themed restaurant, off an exit on the interstate. So it's a vice president's themed restaurant. This is based off my memories that there's a vice president museum between home and here where I live that I pass all the time. But I think so. This is a diner where the waiters and waitresses dress like vice presidents. All of their dishes are named after vice presidents. I don't have any puns off the top of my head, but trust me, there are a lot of vice presidential puns. Most of them don't make any sense. There's the Spiro Agnew Spiro spaghetti. The Spiro Agnew spaghetti. There is the so your John Adams was also vice president, so there's the John Adams apple fritter. So the vice, I hope this vice president diner. Oh, okay. We can make a good Dan, or well, not a good Dan Quayle joke, but we can make a Dan Quayle joke. I hope this vice president diner has Dan Quayle has a Dan Quayle potato. I believe that's how he misspelled potato, with an E at the end. Okay, so we're up to 13 for this hour, and I guess Harrison, since you were here for the, since you weren't here for it, I'll keep drawing cards for an hour until the totals add up to 21, and then we move on to the next hour. 5 diamonds. So diamonds are oddities and unexplained mysteries, and a 5 is nostalgic. Okay, this is just at dusk, so and An unexplainable mystery. Okay, so I'm listening to the radio at this point, and I'm flipping around, and I hear I come across like a staticky station, but underneath the static I can hear someone singing a song. And it doesn't sound like a professional singer. It just sounds like a woman, an older woman singing a song, and it's "You Are My Sunshine," and it. Yes. Yeah, I really do like the design of this game. As soon as I read it, I knew that I was going to like playing it. What was I saying? Oh yes. There's a woman's voice singing "You Are My Sunshine." Underneath the static, there's no music accompanying her. It's just the sound of. She's not singing well. It's not a trained voice, but it's very soothing, and it makes me think of when I was a kid, and my grandma would sing that to me. You Are My Sunshine. Gosh, that takes me back. Huh. She sounds a lot like my Mimi. So that was 10, we're up to 18. Nine of Hearts. We still haven't come across a spade, so that's interesting. But the Nine of Hearts, so that's going to be an encouraging building, roadside building. 9 each. Okay. An encouraging roadside building. I drive past a gas station with a sign out front that says, "Wherever you're going, you're almost there." What, you don't like my idea of a diner where everyone? Yeah, there's probably a presidential diner in the next town over, and they're bitter rivals. They hate each other so much. It's like trying to walk in one and trying to walk in two. Yeah. Yeah, you always wonder if the people at the 1 and the 2 get along. Or if the people at the restaurants that are like, you know, the original the original Larrys and Larrys get along. Okay, so wherever you're going, you're almost there. You just need a little more gas. Daytime drama type scenario, I think. That, yes, that's... I would watch the hell out of that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm... Ooh, propane place that said extend your porch time with propane. Oh, that's good. I mean, I guess in the winter, like if you're using it for to power a heater or something. Although I wouldn't. Oh yes, grilling. That's also good. I don't need to grill to stay out on the porch. So wherever you're going, you're almost there. You just need a little more gas. Nice sentiment, but I've still got a long way to go. Okay, we're on to 10 p.m. And let me just make sure we don't have a prompt. Okay, the next prompt is at 11. So 10, the Ace of Clubs. It's really hard to see the ace, huh? Okay, anyway. Ooh, okay, spooky nature park, animal, plants, fields, or farms. Spooky nature. Okay, this is a good opportunity. There's a stretch of road about let's say it's about like 300 yards or so, and along the right side of the road there are about 200 deer just lined up, standing perfectly stock still. Their eyes are glowing, or reflecting the light of my headlights. None of them are moving except for the last one, who makes like she's going to jump out in front of the car but doesn't. That seems spooky to me. Does that seem spooky to you? What's the last road trip you took, Harrison? I think besides like going to visit my family, it was like going to Chicago to visit friends. Those are the only trips I've really made in the last several years. Looks like I interrupted a deer convention. Hope they're okay. That was a lot of deer to just be standing there. Okay, so the ace counts as a 1. The 7 of hearts. It's going to be confusing. Oh, okay. A confusing roadside building. It's some sort of roadside attraction, but it's hard to tell exactly what it is, because it's so the sign for it is so garbled. It's like one of those it's like one of those the signs that you see in the memes that like have the typography on them is all wrong. So if you read them like your eye wants to read them, they make absolutely no sense. I obviously don't have a whole lot of time to stop, but like I stopped for a minute and I'm trying to puzzle out what this says, and no matter what order I read these words in, it just doesn't make any sense. It's advertising some sort of agricultural oddity. World's beat largest America from Midwest is what, forever? Well, if you say so. Okay, we're up to 8 for this hour. The 5 of hearts. A nostalgic roadside building. Let's see here. It's a restaurant from a local chain that used to be bigger. There used to be a one of these in my hometown, but over the years they've just disappeared, and I've just found what I think is probably the last remaining Gluttonous Gus's. Gluttonous Gus's fine American dining. Gluttonous Gus's Fine American Dining. Oh man, I used to love that place when there was one back home. They had the best crappy fried chicken. Okay, we're at 13 currently. We've got a 7 of diamonds. And that's going to be a confusing. Can't believe we've gone this far without getting a single spade. I hope I shuffled the deck well enough. A confusing oddity or unexplained mystery. Okay, I pass a sign that says welcome to Metropolis. Population 13,702. And it's one of the big like signs that you see when you're entering a town that has like we've got like a Kiwanis here and a Rotary Club, and our high school won the 2007 boys wrestling state championship. But I passed the sign, and there's just absolutely no sign of a town anywhere. There are no abandoned buildings. There are no, as far as I can see from the road, there are no, there are no places where houses used to be. There are no like foundations. There are no civic buildings. There doesn't seem to be a park. Just the sign while I'm entering, and then about half a mile down the road, there's a school crossing sign. And so I slow down for the school crossing sign, but there's no sign of a school, no sign of a crosswalk, and I just keep on my way. Metropolis, but there's nothing there. Where did all the buildings go? Okay, so that's 1, 8, 13, 20. Okay, so I get one more for this hour. The King of Hearts. So an exciting roadside building. Let's see. I think I'm passing through a medium-sized town, and I see a it looks like a freestanding gymnasium. I think it's labeled as like the Armory, and at one point there was probably a National Guard armory here, but now it looks like it's just been turned into a civic building. This is like a medium-sized, or a smallish sized town, but this building tonight is just packed. There've got to be a couple hundred cars in the parking lot, and there is a sign outside that says "Tonight only." Midwest Extreme Wrestling Promotion. Come see the Fabulous Fop versus Eric the let me type down these names. The Fabulous Fop versus Eric Destroya Van Wing. Oh, now there's a show I'd like to see. If I had the time. Okay, we're on to 11 p.m. We've got a prompt. The lights of the city pass by. You drive through an unusual area. The map doesn't show anything, but maybe it's a newly developed place. You drive by an unusual looking building that looks to be full of people even this late at night. Draw 3 cards. Draw another card if you get a repeat. What do I observe? So, the 3 of diamonds. So a 3. I think I see a horse inside the building? Oh. 5. The name of the building is on the sign out in front. I've never heard of it. And a queen. Had to take an unusual route to get around the building. Okay, so I guess it should be surprising that I think I see a horse inside the building. So it's probably not a 4-H grounds, because I would not be surprised if I saw a horse there. It has a name I've never heard of, and I had to take an unusual route to get around the building. So let's add let's add the building to the map. I'm going to let's see, we're somewhere in Illinois, so that's encouraging. This that's a horse. That's a very fine horse. I'm incredible at drawing. The Great Pink Horse of the Midwest. Okay, so the lights of the city pass by. And that's a 3, a 5, and a queen. Twenty-third. So the name of this place is 23rd National State Bank and Loan and Cracker Factory. Never heard of it. And wait. Yes, this is like a big building that is actually like just kind of sat down in oh, probably saltines. They're not making any fancy Ritz crackers here in the Midwest. I suppose communion wafers are a type. I would say that communion wafers are a cracker. There's certainly some type of bread. So, and they're dried out. So this building is just kind of like plopped in the middle of the road. There's a roundabout that like goes around it, but it's pretty big. There's no real reason why this building should be basically in the middle of the road. It's not like a huge building. It's a communion cracker, the body of Christ, but would a cheese ball with the cracker be the brain of Christ? I mean, yeah, that's a not like a very light creepypasta is what I want to go with, and oh, my hair is blah. Something I like about like the idea of an all-night road trip is that America is very strange, and I mean it's very easy to not think about it, but just passing through towns in America, you just notice weird things, and one of the things that I notice here is like, one, this bank is closed, but all the lights are on. There are no cars outside, but there are people inside, and it looks like there's a horse at the teller window. A horse at the drive-through teller window. Staring at me as I drive past. Yeah. Night Vale has that like wonderful creepy Americana vibe, and I love it. Okay, so a queen is 12, 17, 20. I'm at 21 for this. So the next one is a 6 of hearts. Oh, and there was finally a spade in this. So we've had one spade, and we're getting through the deck. Probably about a quarter of the way through it. We're gonna have a big concentration of spades. 6 of hearts is a frustrating roadside attraction, or roadside building. So there was a back when I was a kid, there was a gas station and restaurant out by the highway that was called Eat Here and Get Gas. What if it's one of those, but it said Get Here, Eat Gas, and it doesn't seem like they're joking about it. That's one of the jokes that my brother and I always used to make about that place. Get here, eat gas. Even if that were possible, I don't think I'd want to do it. Okay, so now we're on to midnight. The midnight hour. And our next prompt is at 1. I may actually have to split this into 2 sessions, which is good because I like the vibes of this game. So first up is a 2 of diamonds. So that's going to be a calming oddity. Oh no, I've broken my convention. I can't break my convention of writing things. You know what? I haven't described driving past other people. That's a good. What could be a calming oddity or unexplained mystery? I'm driving through a town, and I see one of the cars that's driving the same way as me. They're driving. It's lucky there's no one behind them, because they slam on the brakes and back up about 50 feet. And they just leave their car parked in the middle of the street, and they jump out of the car, run over to someone who they see on the sidewalk, and just give them the biggest hug, like fall down on their knees, start crying. It looks like somehow, somewhere, this person found someone they've been looking for a very long time. And it's nice to see. It's nice to see that. But wow, it does disrupt the flow of the little traffic that's going along this street. Good thing it's a 2-lane road. I guess you can always find someone you were looking for, even on the road. So that's a 2 for this hour. No, it doesn't increment up. I have to draw a card. The 10 of Hearts. So that's going to be a romantic building, a romantic roadside building. Huh. Okay, I'll try to make this something romantic instead of a sex shop or something, or a no-tell motel. Oh. Sorry, my eye is very itchy right now. Need to give it a little itch. There's a nice little wedding chapel. This is a really scenic area that I'm going through. We're in sort of the middle of a nice forest, and just off the road here there is the mother of the groom, an article you saw about the mother of the groom realizing the bride was their long-lost daughter that got adopted. Oh my gosh, that would be a that would be a horrible, horrible realization to have. A nice little wedding chapel. Well, I guess this is as good a place as any if you're into that sort of thing. Okay, so the Two of Hearts. A calming roadside building. Okay, so what's a roadside building that makes you feel calm when you're driving? I'm having a bit of trouble thinking of one. Oh, what about a... Ooh. Oh, an air pump station is kind of a nice idea. Like, maybe it's just like a... Like, there's this little plaza set up for people to rest, and it has an air pump here. And there's like an emergency phone that you can use. I find the huge like roadside oases to be a little bit anxiety inducing. Just because there are always so many people there. Like the ones in Chicago that like they're on top of they're over the road. They're really cool looking, but also going to them makes me a little nervous because they're always packed. I like the idea of a... Yeah, that's true. Like even though there are always like a ton of people, they always do seem too empty. I guess they're probably designed to feel that way so that I think those places are designed to make you a little uncomfortable so that you move along. They just want to be welcoming enough so that you'll buy stuff, but then you'll make room for the next people. I like the idea of like a little like parking lot with yes, yeah, very much the liminal space aesthetic. Yes. Yeah, they don't want you hanging out at the airport. Oh, a nice little lot for people to rest. I'd expect this on the highway, but it's nice to see one on this rural, let's say... Yeah, road. Okay, on this rural road. There's even an emergency phone and air pump. Okay, so that's 14. Okay, and that's the 10 of clubs. Or, yes, 10 of clubs. Yeah, the soft yellow glow of the light is very calming. When I told my roommates that I liked like soft white, yellowish light in my room, they called me mad. But I don't know. I find like soft white and yellow light to be very soothing. Okay, so this 10 of clubs, yeah. Yeah, so right now in my room I have soft whites for my lighting because it wouldn't look I have the bright whites for my lighting right now because the soft yellows wouldn't look good on camera, but I usually like a soft white. 10 of clubs. That's a romantic. That's romantic nature. Let's hear. How about a place called Lover's Leap? Lover's Leap Lookout. Lover's Leap Lookout. Boy, this area is all about the romance, huh? Okay, and that'll put us into the 1 o'clock hour. So we've done 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to go. Okay, so since it's 10 o'clock and I've had a very busy week, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. There's still half of this game to go, so I'm just going to save the rest of it for next time. I'm very much enjoying this game, and I really hope that you've enjoyed what you've seen, Harrison. And if anyone's been watching the VOD, I hope that they're enjoying it too. Yeah, I will bring this back next week and finish it up. But I need to get off. I need to get off now. I've got some stuff to do before I go to bed. So, thank you for coming and watching, and I hope you have a great night.